Good morning, children. Welcome to today's class. In the last class, we are discussing a lesson of 10th standard English, Dr. B R Ambedkar. The author of this lesson is Sri R. Venkataraman. Venkataraman. So he was the author of this lesson. In the previous class, we have discussed about how Dr. B R Ambedkar as elected for Mumbai Legislative Assembly in the election held under the Constitution Act of India 1935, and he had given his effective contributions in the debates in the assembly in variety of subjects. Means to say that he is wide knowledge. He had the wide knowledge. So because of that knowledge only, he gave an effective contribution to the debates in the assembly. So after that, he was offered by the Constitution Assembly of India to work in the Constituent Assembly. And by working there, he can give a notable and permanent shape to his social philosophy and the dignity of human being that he had. And the Indian National Congress, even though Dr. B R Ambedkar was not in Congress requested him to work as the chairman of the drafting committee of Indian Constitution. So after that, he became the chairman of drafting committee of the Indian Constitution, and brick by brick he has built the magnificent edifice which we call now as the fundamental rights. With the help of before going to build that, he has considered the convincible requirement and distinctive needs of the society. And also, he has studied various constitutions of different nations, and with his own experience, he had done this work. And he also explained each and every provisions of the Constitution to the Assembly in a very simple language that one layman can understand. So, for this work, the other luminaries are also helped him to make this Constitution. Those who are Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyengar and K. Munshi, Gopal Swami Iyengar, Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, Gopal Swami Iyengar and K. N. Munshi. And one more person who was indubitably worked with the constitutional advisor for Dr. Ambedkar, was that B N Rao. So with the help of these luminaries, Ambedkar built this wonderful and magnificent constitution for India. And we also discussed that how he had a clear perception about the mutuality of the three pillars. So, which were the three pillars of our constitution? Yes, legislature, executive and judiciary. These are the three pillars of our Indian constitution. So, till that we have discussed in the last class. ಕಳೆದ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಗೆ ಬಾಂಬೆ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿಗೆ ಆಯ್ಕೆಯಾಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಿಷಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತಮ್ಮದೇ ಆದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕೊಡುಗೆಯನ್ನು ಅವರು ಚರ್ಚೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆನಂತರ ಅವರು ಈ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ರಚನಾ ಸಮಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಆಫರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕರಡು ಸಮಿತಿಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೇಮಕ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಅನುಭವಗಳನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗಳ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡಿ ಆನಂತರ ಸಮಾಜದ ಅಗತ್ಯತೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮನಗಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವೇನು ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಅವರು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ನಿಬಂಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥವಾಗುವಂತಹ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ವಿವರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಇತರ ಒಂದು ಮಹಾನ್ ನಾಯಕರು ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಾಡಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಅಯ್ಯರ್, ಗೋಪಾಲಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅಯ್ಯಂಗರ್, ಎಂ.ಕೆ. ಮುನ್ಷಿ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ತಮ್ಮದೇ ಆದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕಾಣಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ B.N. ರಾವ್ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಾತ್ಮಕ ಸಲಹೆಗಾರರಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ 3 ಅಂಗಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ, ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ, ಕಾರ್ಯಾಂಗ, ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗಗಳ ಒಂದು ಪರಸ್ಪರತೆಯನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ದಟ್ till that. Let's continue the lesson. Page number 70. Students, please observe my reading and the pronunciation, and you have to write the meaning of the difficult words. Okay? Let's start. The following observation he made is significant. The Constitution is a fundamental document. It is a document which defines the position and the power of the three organs of the state, the executive, the judiciary and the legislature. It is also defines the powers of the executive and the powers of the legislature as against the citizens, as we have done in our chapter dealing with fundamental rights. In fact, the purpose of a constitution is not merely to create the organs of the state, but to limit their authority. Because if no limitation was imposed upon the authority of the organs, there will be complete tyranny and complete oppression. Jawaharlal Nehru chose Dr. Ambedkar to be the first law minister of independent India. This was a recognition of Dr. Ambedkar's skill in the field of law and legislation, as also a tribute to his vision of social justice, a vision which was sought to be enforced into the new Indian polity. But above all this was a tribute to the success of Baba Sahib Dr. Ambedkar's own campaigns against social injustice. Who could have dreamt that one born to a Mahar family would one day become not only a law minister but a lawmaker and be hailed as the modern Manu. In the 4 decades and more since independence, much progress has been achieved in providing equality of opportunities to the people. Members of the scheduled caste and find doors which had been closed to them for centuries being opened. No legal bars exist today for self-expression or self-advancement. They are enrolling themselves in institutes of higher learning and entering public services. They have come to occupy high offices of state both at the central and in the states. Judges, ambassadors and governors have been drawn from their ranks, and they have acquitted themselves creditably in all these positions of responsibility. So let's stop there. I will explain the paragraph number 6, that the following observation he made is significant. So he has made a significant observation. Here observe the word significant. Significant means gamanarhavada. The Constitution is a fundamental document. It is correct only. The Constitution is a fundamental document for every country. Every country has their own constitution. America, it has its own constitution. Britain, it has its own constitution. Like that, India also, it has its own constitution. But this constitution is the fundamental documents of that country. ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಒಂದು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ಮೂಲ ದಾಖಲೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. It is a document which defines the position and powers of the three organs of the state: the executive, the judiciary and the legislature. So, this is a document which defines, which explains the power and the position of the three organs. What the executive has to do, what the legislature has to do, what the power of judiciary. So these are explained, these are defined in Constitution. According to that only they have to work. So it means to say that there is a limitation for each organs. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಈ ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ, ಕಾರ್ಯಾಂಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಬೇಕು, ಅವುಗಳ ಅಧಿಕಾರಗಳೇನು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. It is also defines the powers of the executive and the powers of the legislature as against the citizens. So, not only their position and powers discussed, there may be some also defined about the powers of legislature, the powers of executive against the citizens. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ನಾಗರಿಕರೊಂದಿಗೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಂಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗಗಳು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಾಗರಿಕರಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಅವರ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳೇನು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Citizens, as we have done in our chapter dealing with fundamental rights. We already saw that about the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights were the ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Here in fact the purpose of a constitution is not merely to create the organs of the state but to limit their authority. Exactly. It is every organ, every power has its own limitation. If there is no limitation, it will be a cause for the tyranny like it. So, in fact, the purpose of a constitution is not only to create the organs. So, the purpose of create the constitution is not only create the organs, but to limit their authority. So it is necessary also. Every organ has its own limitations, so that it has its own scope, and they should know the scope of that organ. So here the constitution not only create the organs, but it also limit its powers. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಕೇವಲ ಅಂಗಗಳನ್ನು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವುಗಳ ಕಾರ್ಯವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ನಿಗದಿಪಡಿಸೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಒಂದು ಮಿತಿಯನ್ನ ಹೇರಿದೆ. ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಮಿತಿಯನ್ನ ಹೇರಿದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ if no limitations was imposed upon the authority of the organs, there will be complete tyranny and complete oppression. So if there is no limitation has been imposed, if there is no limitations has been made for the organs, there will be a chance of complete tyranny and complete oppression. Here observe the word oppression. O-P-P-R-E, O-P-P-R-E, sorry, O-P-P-R-E, S-S-I-O-N. Oppression means that ದಬ್ಬಾಳಿಕೆ, ಶೋಷಣೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So like that, if there is no limits have been imposed on these organs, there will be a chance of tyranny. Tyranny means it also gives the same meaning. So Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru chose Dr. Ambedkar to be the first law minister of independent India. So when we got independence and constitution was made, after that a government has been formed, and Jawaharlal Nehru he became the first Prime Minister of India, and he chose Dr. Ambedkar as to be the first law minister of independent India. So it may be asked in your examination that who was the first law minister of independent India? Who is the first law minister of independent India? Yes, Dr. Ambedkar was the first law minister of independent India. This was a recognition of Dr. Ambedkar's skill in the field of law and legislation, as it was a recognition, it was a respect. By choosing Dr. Ambedkar as the first law minister of independent India, the country has submitted its recognition for the skills in the field of law and legislation. So the skills that Ambedkar has had in the field of law and legislation, this was the tribute to that skills. So ಜವಾಹರ್ಲಾಲ್ ನೆಹರು ರವರು ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರನ್ನ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಭಾರತದ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಕಾನೂನು ಮಂತ್ರಿಯನ್ನಾಗಿ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಅವರು ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರು ಈ ಕಾನೂನು ರಚನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಂದಿದಂತ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂದ ಗೌರವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. As also a tribute to his vision of social justice. So Ambedkar has his own vision about the social justice. He fought for that only throughout his life. Throughout his life, he fought against the social injustice. ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಅನ್ಯಾಯದ ವಿರುದ್ಧ, ಅಸಮಾನತೆಯ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರು ಹೋರಾಡಿದರು. ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೊಂದಿದಂತ ಅವರ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂದ ಗೌರವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಟು his vision of social justice, a vision which was sought to be enforced into the new Indian polity. Though the vision that Ambedkar had, the social justice, his vision of social justice has been imposed in the new polity of India, in the new the constitution of India. Andre ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಆ ಒಂದು ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನವನ್ನ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಭಾರತದ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಾಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ above all this was a tribute to the success of Baba Saheb Dr. Ambedkar's own campaign against social injustice. So Ambedkar, he struggled a lot. He fought for the social justice. He fought against the social injustice. So, when he was selected, when he was chosen as the first law minister of independent India, it is the tribute for his success of his own campaigns against the social injustice. It is a success when he has become. ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರು ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವರನ್ನ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಭಾರತದ ಮೊದಲ ಒಂದು ಕಾನೂನು ಮಂತ್ರಿಯನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೇಮಕ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಅನ್ಯಾಯದ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಅವರು ನಡೆಸಿದಂತಹ ಹೋರಾಟಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂದ ಜಯ, ಯಶಸ್ಸು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಭಾವಿಸಬಹುದು. Who could have dreamt that one born to a Meher family would one day become not only a law minister but a lawmaker and be hailed as a modern one? Who knows that one person who was born in a Meher family, it was a very low casted family in that time, because the caste, higher castes they have no rights. They are living like animals. Or the upper classes people were treated them like animals in that time. There was the condition of those castes were very worst in that time. So the person who born in Meher family would one day become not only the law minister but a lawmaker. Who dreamt that? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕವಾಗಿ ತುಳಿತಕ್ಕೆ, ಶೋಷಣೆಗೆ ಒಳಗಾಗಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಮೆಹರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜನಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಭಾರತದ ಕಾನೂನು ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಕಾನೂನು ರಚಿಸುವಂತವನಾಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಯಾರು ಕನಸು ಕಂಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Hailed as a modern Manu. So Ambedkar was named as the modern Manu. ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರನ್ನ ಆಧುನಿಕ ಮನು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. In the 4 decades and more since independence, much progress has been achieved in providing equality of opportunities to the people. So after the independence, here decades means dashaka anta kartare. After the independence, in 4 decades, more since independence. So after independence, more since independence means after independence, much progress has been achieved in providing equal opportunity to the people. So more progress has been, we have succeeded in achieving, in providing equal opportunities to the people. So much has been achieved Now we are the people of India are getting equal opportunities after the independence. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಭಾರತದ ನಂತರ 4 ದಶಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಜನರಿಗೆ ಸಮಾನ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳನ್ನು ಕಲ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಡುವಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಗತಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸಾಧಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. Members of the scheduled caste find doors which have been closed to them for centuries. So the members of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, they have no rights before the independence, before the constitution has been made. But after the independence, the scheduled caste members have find doors which were closed for them for centuries. Centuries they have no rights, they have living in the dark, they are kept in the darkness. But now the door has been opened for them to live equally with other people. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶತಶತಮಾನಗಳಿಂದಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಶಿಷ್ಟ ವರ್ಗದವರಿಗೆ, ಪರಿಶಿಷ್ಟ ಜಾತಿಯವರಿಗೆ ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶಗಳ ಬಾಗಿಲು ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಈಗ ತೆರೆದುಕೊಳ್ತು. Being open. No legal bars exist today for self-expression or self-advancement. Now nobody can stop them. There is no legal bars for their self-expression or self-advancement. Self-expression means swayam abhivyakti. Self-advancement means swayam pragati. ಸ್ವಯಂ ಪ್ರಗತಿಯನ್ನು ಸಾಧಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಒಂದು ಅಭಿವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಅಡೆತಡೆಗಳು ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲ. They are enrolling themselves in the institutions of higher learning. So now they are also enrolling their names in the higher education institutions, and they are becoming educated, and they are entering public services like IAS, KAS, IFS, IPS, like that. So now they are improving, they are studying, they are getting education, they are becoming officers. ಇವತ್ತೇನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅವರು ಉನ್ನತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣವನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಉನ್ನತವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಹುದ್ದೆಗಳಿಗೆ, ಅವರು ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕ ಹುದ್ದೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. They have come to occupy high officer states both at the center and the state. So now they are working as the officers both in state government and both in the central government also. Okay, ಹೀಗೆ ಇವತ್ತವರು ಏನಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ, ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಉನ್ನತ ಹುದ್ದೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Judges, ambassadors and governors have been drawn from their ranks. Judges, they are now, somebody has become judges, some have become ambassadors, some have become the governors also. So now they are occupying all the posts. ಹೀಗೇನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅವರು ಈಗ ರಾಯಭಾರಿಗಳಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಬಾಸಿಡರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ರಾಯಭಾರಿಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಜಡ್ಜಿಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಶರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಒಂದು ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರಾಗಿ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಯಾವ the president is the Indian president, he also belong to the scheduled caste. So because of the constitution has gave them these type of opportunities, and they have acquitted themselves creditably in all these position responsibility. So they are doing their jobs well with respect. Okay, let's stop here. Students, I will give you the homework for today. Is you have to write the answers for question number 4, 5 and 6. Okay, it is there in page number 71. Yesterday I have given number 1, 2, 3 questions. Now today's homework 4, 5 and 6. questions you have to write the answer. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.